What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the first video for college football. I'm super excited to have football back. NFL right around the corner. Can't wait to do these videos, and I'm super thankful that we have college football going into this weekend. Now, for this video, I'm going to give you guys six player props. That's right, 6 player props. And I'm going to give you guys my opinion on a lot of these games in terms of game spread, totals, money lines, things like that. So if it's something you guys are looking forward to or think you're going to enjoy, make sure you guys are hitting that subscribe button. Make sure you guys leave a like on this video and a comment. And if you would do me a huge favor, get this video to 250 likes. If we get this video to 250 likes, I'll pick a comment down below to win free VIP. And we do have until Saturday to get those likes. So make sure you guys get it done, and I'll see y'all in just a minute. So first things first, before we jump into this slate, I do want to say that down in the description, you are going to see links to about 10 different apps. This on the screen shows every app that we are currently partnered with, and it shows you which apps use code FANTASYACES and then which apps use code ACES. If you sign up for any of these apps, you will get a deposit match, as well as each app will have its individual, some type of boost that it'll give you. Some apps will give you $20 free bets. Some apps will give you $50 free bets. Some apps give you $10 for depositing 10 extra. All of them give you a deposit match, but they all have something special they give you as well. So if you guys sign up for these apps, you get a free month of VIP for each one. Yes, these all stack, so you can get up to 10 full months for free. Just sign up for any of the apps on the screen. Send me a screenshot of your $10 or more deposit, and I'll get you guys added for each one. If you have all these apps and you just want to join our VIP and get every single pick that I'm personally playing myself, then you can sign up through our WAP link down in the description. You can get code 20% off using code SUMMER, and I will have a football code coming up probably early next week. That's probably going to be 30% off. So if you guys haven't tried it, or if you guys have already used code SUMMER and you want to try another discount, we do have code. It'll probably be NFL or college football or just football, something like that for next week, but it will be there. If you don't want to pay, then go ahead and just join the Discord. The Discord is free, and I'd love to have you guys a part of the community. And yeah, let's jump into some of these slips and lock in some of these plays over on whatever app you really want to lock them in on, because these plays are pretty flexible in terms of that. But anyways, before I say it, one last thing. I will be leaving for Jamaica tomorrow morning. I got about a 4-hour flight overall. It's probably going to be like a 7-hour trip with delays and layovers and things like that. So got about a 7-hour trip. I won't have a video posted in the morning. Just consider this video the Thursday morning video. And yeah, plays for college football are getting dropped early in our Discord. They will be dropped early. I've already posted about 4 slips for college football. There's going to be more coming up. I'm trying to get the player props done as fast as possible, just in case I can't use some of these apps in Jamaica. I'm pretty certain I can use Parlay Play in Jamaica with a VPN. I was able to do it in Punta Cana when I went last year, so I'm thinking I'll be able to use Parlay Play. If I can't, we might be SOL on some of these player props, and I might have to straight bet them. So that's why I'm trying to get these out early. A lot of slips already posted. Join the Discord. If you're paid through WAP already, they're still in the Discord. So still join the Discord, okay? All right. Let's talk about the first player prop that I like on the season. So what I'm going to do on Outlier, that's what I use to research. You guys can try out Outlier with a link in the description as well. I hit games here. And when you have multiple weeks of games on the board, I always select the games that I'm looking for. So I'll come down here and I'll select all the Saturday games for my props. You hit done. And then I can honestly come down here and I can filter these props through the type of prop that I'm looking for in terms of passing yards, rushing yards, things like that. So let's talk about the first prop on the board that I do like. It's going to be for our man Micah Ford. So I like Micah Ford's rushing yards. So I'm going to click rushing yards here. If I can find it. Am I blind? Okay, yes, I'm actually blind. Anyways, we're going to come over here. We're going to find Micah Ford. I could honestly just type his name in if I want, but I'm taking his rushing yards. Now, you can see there's 2 different lines here. One is going to be for some sports books. Some's going to be for like player prop apps like Prize Picks and Underdog. They have a pretty big line discrepancy here. You got 5-yard difference based off of Prize Picks and Hard Rock, and it's pretty much even odds. So I'm going to click this one. And I'm going to talk about Micah Ford here, the Stanford running back. Now, he's been coming off some injuries from last year. Played pretty much the first half of the season, and then after that, he got hurt, and you're not going to see him much after that. So around the 22nd of November, it was his last game, but he had 150 rushing yards that game versus California. Dude's a good running back. He's a workhorse. a lot of games give him a decent amount of touches. He had around 16 carries per game on average. Now you can see there's a few games in here where they didn't get any. He didn't get much usage. 7 rush attempts there, 8 rush attempts there. But I'm expecting opening day for him to get some pretty good work. So come down here and look at Stanford. They pass the ball 55% of the time, run the ball 45% of the time. This is coming off of last season. Now all these stats from last season. Hawaii's rushing yards defense, all this thing, you have to take with a grain of salt. Most college football teams are completely different than the year prior now with the NIL deals. There's so many quarterbacks and running backs and things getting better deals from other schools. They all move, so take it with a grain of salt. Micah Ford back with Stanford. I love a spot for him to go over his rushing yards. Now, you can play his rushing yards at 79.5, 89.5, wherever you want. I did end up locking this in at, I believe it was 79.5 for myself. Let me confirm that. Yes, it was 79.5 on Prize Picks. Now, 79.5 based off of last season. Kind of a high line, but I just don't think Hawaii's defense is going to stop the run in this game. I really don't. They were ranked 44th in the season last year. These are against worse schools. You got to understand Hawaii's not a big school or anything. They don't have a super hard schedule. We can come look at their strength of schedule from last year. Let me find that. Hawaii was ranked 133rd in their ranked strength of schedule. So their school schedule is very, very easy. Okay, one of the weaker schedules in the league. And going against Micah Ford here, I think he's going to have a good game. Last year versus Hawaii, he rushed for 113 yards. He had 26 rush attempts. I'm thinking Stanford gets a lead. This game's tough. Hawaii can beat Stanford. They really can. This game can go either way. But I think it's going to be a competitive game. I don't think this is going to be one of those games where I don't think Hawaii is going to blow out Stanford, and I don't think Stanford's going to blow out Hawaii. Competitive, like I said. Either way, I think Micah Ford is going to get plenty of touches here. I do think that Alejado from Hawaii is going to have a pretty good game for passing yards as well, which I'll talk about here in a minute. But Micah Ford is the prop we're looking at, 79.5 rushing yards. I like it in this spot, and I am locking in the over for Micah Ford, okay? The second play that I have, we're going to talk about Alejado. Alejado is going to be another player that I am running and I have already locked in. So that's going to be the quarterback for Hawaii. He's making his return back to Hawaii. Had a pretty okay season last year. Threw for around 282 yards per game on average. He going against a defense last year that really sucked to stop the pass, or struggled to stop the passing game last year. 136th in the league. Gave up almost 300 passing yards per game. Your boy is struggling to get some of these words out, I tell you what, man. But Alejado here, I like this spot. 253.5 is a pretty high line for an opening game, I will say. There's going to be some nerves here. I do think Alejado has a good game, though. I think it's going to take some time for him to get adjusted, get ready, get into the groove of things. But I don't think the Stanford defense is going to be anything super strong this year. Again, I really don't. They might be better than they were last year. It's hard to be worse. But, Alejado here, I do like his passing yards. And I actually ended up playing this line at 239.5. So at 240 is what I took the line at. So I bought it down slightly. It shows around minus 195 on DraftKings if you were to bet this. I believe I bet it on Chalkboard if I am not mistaken. Yes, I did put it in on Chalkboard. So let me look at that one more time. Yes. So I'll show the Chalkboard slip here in a minute. 239 down to 225. 225 is another line I like. I actually played the 225 line on Chalkboard, but I like him all the way up to the 250. I don't think 250 is too high. I think they're going to be playing from behind. I honestly have Stanford winning this game in a competitive game. I do think that Hawaii is going to be throwing the ball. If you look at this, 63% pass rate from last season, bringing back the same stud quarterback they had. It's a good spot for him. Love his passing yard line here. Jumping back over to Micah Ford, I forgot to go over this, but there is another prop that I like for Micah Ford if you want to play it, and that's going to be for his receptions over 1.5. So this is a line he didn't cash very often last season, 3 of 9 games, obviously dealing with injuries. If you look at his targets, he averaged 2 targets per game. Look at his opening game last season versus Hawaii. He had 5 receptions. Or 5 targets, 2 receptions. Now, it didn't go well, but here's my thought process on receptions for Micah Ford. Sometimes, little check and little screen passes are a good way to get rid of the jitters for an opening game. I expect TCU to do that with Jeremy Payne going into the Dublin, Ireland game. I think that there's going to be a lot of nerves for these opening games in week 0, and I really do like the spot for Micah Ford to get 2 receptions. Yes, it's not a prop that it's not like they fed him receptions and targets all season last season or anything like that, but opening game, lots of targets. He had 2 receptions, didn't have very many passing yards. I like the spot for Micah Ford just to get rid of some of the jitters. It's a dude coming off an injury. You don't want to run him up the middle over and over again and risk more injury. I don't know what how bad his injury is right now. I'm sure he's perfectly fine right now and feels good, but I do think they're going to give a couple screen passes here. I think he cashes this line pretty easy. It's one of my favorite props on the board, to be honest with you. Micah Ford for 2 receptions. So I just wanted to throw that out there. 2 Micah Ford props, 1 Alejado prop. We still have 3 more props I want to talk about, and then I'll actually show you the slips I locked in. Okay? Deal? So next pick that I like, fourth play, is going to be for our man King Miller. So I take King Miller. He's the USC running back. Dude's a beast. His line is sitting at around 77.5 rushing yards. I actually played this at 69.5. I bought it down about 8. I think 70 is a good number. He cashed it 8 of 13 games last season, and he cashed it 7 of his last 10 games, going 6 or 7 of his last 8 if you actually look at that. So obviously played for USC last year. USC's got a good team, and they're going up against San Jose State. That team is not going to be able to stop them. The total on this game is sitting at 60.5, and this USC offense or coach loves to run up the score. He's not going to stop running up the score. He's not going to, they get up 20 points. He's not just going to pull back and run these little 5-yard runs just to try to milk the clock. He's going to continue to feast. Okay, now this team ran the ball 49% of the time last season. Looking at King Miller, he was the number 1 running back last year, 156 rush attempts, 37% of the rush share, and he averaged right at 15 rush attempts per game over his last 8 games, getting 18 to 20 in quite a few of those. I think he gets fed. I think they feed him again. I think this is going to be a good spot. I think 70 is too low. I don't think San Jose State can stop the run or the passing game here. It's just a matter of which one breaks off the big one. We're going to get a big 50-yard pass from Mahado, how do you say his name? I can't remember the quarterback's name, to be honest with you. It's like Maiva or Maiva, however you say that. But either way, King Miller or Maiva, I like both these spots, and I'm going to be locking in King Miller for over 69.5 rushing yards. Now, once again, guys, bear with me on these props because this is going to be opening week. This is going to be there are going to be a lot of teams with jitters. Like I said, a lot of teams are different. They're not going to come out playing exactly like they did last season. There's going to be some adjustments, things that they thought they struggled with that they need to work on. If some teams made good adjustments on defense, maybe their defense is going to be better this year than they were last year. If they lost all their players on defense, they might be worse than they were last year, even though they tried to make adjustments. So just got to watch these teams, see how they do the first couple of weeks, and then make adjustments on our bets from there. That's why I'm playing half a unit on these plays, and I'll show you that in a second. So jumping into pick number 5, this is going to be jumping over to the USC quarterback. This is a spot that I like. I would not pair the running back with the quarterback. If you're playing players from the same teams, I probably, unless you're doing correlation like quarterback with a wide receiver or something, I'd probably just split these into different slips. But I do like Jaden Mayava. I think Mayava is how you say his name. I'm pretty sure it's the USC quarterback, and I'm sorry, my nose is itching. I know I keep touching it, but anyways, I'm taking him for 1.5 passing touchdowns. Now, this line I ended up getting over on the Chalkboard app as well. You can get it on a lot of different platforms. Parlay Play has this one. I don't think Prize Picks does, but I'm sure they will by Saturday. But this line's sitting at like minus 557 if you straight bet it. Really? What is it on Prize Picks? Or, on Chalkboard. On Parlay Play. Good grease. Let's see here. We got passing touchdowns to 1.06. I'm pretty sure this was a 1.2x earlier. Fairly certain this was a 1.2x. I could be wrong. I put this on a slip on Chalkboard. Let me see if Chalkboard has the same value here real quick before I mess up. So I don't have him on the Chalkboard slip. So I actually haven't locked him in yet for whatever reason. Anyways, I like this prop if you want to throw it as like a payout booster on a slip. Cashed it 9 of 13 games last season. I already told you guys this USC team likes to run up the score. I'm expecting that versus San Jose State. I don't think they're going to be able to stop anything, pass or run. So I like the spot for Jaden Mayava to give us 2 passing touchdowns, if not more than that. So you can run 2.5 if you want for better value, but that does get a little bit more risky because they might just run the ball down San Jose's throat. So we'll see what happens there. But I do like that prop if you're looking for an extra payout booster. Then the final prop that I'm going to give you guys, this is probably one of the more risky ones. I say more risky, but it's honestly one of my favorites. It's going to be for Luke Weaver. Now, this is the San Jose State quarterback. I told you guys, I think that they are playing from far behind. He is probably going to have to sling this ball the entire game. If you look at last season, 62% pass rate. I'm not 100% sure what kind of adjustments this San Jose State team has made. This guy is coming from Hawaii, so obviously playing behind Alejado last season, didn't get much start, and now he's the starter for San Jose State. So, and this is last season, right? Yeah, 2025 season. Okay. So Luke Weaver here's line is sitting at 152 passing yards. Do I expect him to soar over 152? I don't think he soars over it, but I think there's a high possibility that he brings 150 passing yards and cashes this line. You can get him down on Chalkboard, and listen, Chalkboard is the only platform that I found this on. at 124.5 passing yards. That to me is that's like NFL preseason style lines. And this is a college football game. For all we know, San Jose State could come here and keep this game competitive. They could score 2 or 3 touchdowns. If they do, it's from passing the ball, in my opinion. I think that Luke Weaver is going to have plenty of opportunities here to catch this line. So I'm gonna show you I'm gonna show you 3 slips. Here's slip number 1. This is on chalkboard. I put $150 to pay out $316. I took Alejado for 224.5, Micah Ford for his 2 receptions, and I took Luke Weaver for 124.5. It's a 3-pick parlay. This one is supposed to be on the chalkboard homepage. So if you see the chalkboard homepage and it says Ryan Fantasy Aces, that's your boy. Chalkboard reached out to me and said, give me one of your favorite slips. It can be any sport that I want it to be. I chose this one. So this is not one of those where they're just trying to screw you, I don't think, unless they make some calls I don't know about. But I love this slip, and I think it cashes. And that's 3 of our props. Now, I doubled down on our man Luke Weaver, and I played it with this slip right here. Luke Weaver with Bo Pribula. Now, Pribula is a risky line, I'm going to say. This is going to be the Virginia quarterback. He is coming from Mizzou. I can't remember who he played the season before Mizzou. That's going to drive me crazy now. I need to go check that out. But I took Bo Pribula under 10.5 rush attempts. Now, let me tell you why. This Virginia offense has like 6 different running backs they're going through. One of the running backs is suspended. I think it said for animal abuse charges. I'm not 100% on that. But one of their guys is suspended. They have like 5 running backs, man. They have some good running backs. And I don't think Bo Pribula is going to be needed for his scrambling abilities. I think he's going to be needed to throw the ball. I think he's going to have to throw the ball. He might get under some pressure from this NC State defense and have to scramble a little bit. But 11 rush attempts, I think is a lot. And I ended up taking a chance on him running the under. We'll see if my read is right on this one. It could be completely wrong. He could have 20 rush attempts by the end of the game. I just don't think he's going to have that much success. And I don't think he's going to be able to run the ball more than 11 times unless, they're just all over him multiple times. So we'll see what happens there. But I do expect them to feed the run game in this game as well. But once again, paired that with Luke Weaver. That's 2 slips for you guys. And then for the final slip, this is the last one I'm going to give y'all, and then we can talk about some of these money lines. It's going to be for the King Miller play with Micah Ford. Played his 80 rush yards with 59.5 rushing yards. I think King Miller has a big game. I think Micah Ford has a big game against Hawaii, and I like this slip. Now, you can see this is a half-unit slip, 75. I ended up playing a little bit more on chalkboard. I just really liked these slips. That's not the way that I would typically tell people to do it. So this is half a unit. This is about 0.75 units, and this is about 2 units, or about 1 unit. So you guys can make adjustments to your unit size if you want. I highly recommend you having a unit size. You can play 1 unit on everything. You can play half a unit on everything. Keep it kind of consistent. I did go off of the consistency here and played 1 and then half and then like 0.75. So you guys can do what I do and be dumb, or you can play it smart and just kind of be equal in the unit size. Just play like half a unit. That's what I would do. It's opening week of college football. Anything can happen, okay? Jumping into some of these game lines, we're going to come over here, click games. We've got every single one of these games pulled up now over on Outlier. We're going to talk about some of the games that I like. So the first game that I like, one of the better games on the slate, it's going to be TCU up against North Carolina. So you got TCU strong favorites right now. Both these teams on the road. This game is in Dublin, Ireland. Talking about this game. TCU beat the brakes off of North Carolina last year in the opening game. It was in North Carolina, got absolutely destroyed. Now, they've pretty much disbanded their entire team. This North Carolina team is bringing in like 30 new faces or something like that. The team is completely different. TCU bringing in a lot of new looks. Both these teams have transfer quarterbacks. TCU no longer has Josh Hoover. They do have Jeremy Payne coming back from last season. They're one of their better, or their star running back, whatever you want to call him. Now, this TCU has an air raid offense. They love to sling the ball. I think that Jeremy Payne is going to be needed in this game. It's in Dublin. There's supposed to be heavy rain in Dublin that game. These teams are going to be nervous. It's a nationally aired game or whatever. Big game. Who knows if they're partying in Dublin the night before? I don't know. They're college kids. Who knows what's going to happen, okay? These guys are going to be having a good time. They're going to come out there with nerves. They're going to come out there with jitters. They're going to come out there in rain. They're not going to be able to run these offenses like they normally do. Love the spot for the game total under in this game. Now, the line's sitting at 47.5. I bet this at 50.5. I bought it up by 3. Ran it at 50.5 at minus 150 on Novig. You can run it there if you want. I do think that TCU wins this game, but you can't bet them at minus 300. You really can't. You either got to run their spread. I don't mind them minus 6.5. I think they might win by a touchdown potentially. But other than that, I wouldn't take the 8.5. 8.5 is a big number, and I don't know how these teams are going to come out here. For all we know, North Carolina comes out here as a completely different team in terms of the way they play, and they look really good, and TCU sucks. You never know, man. So be careful with this game. The game total under is really what I'm looking at. I would click the games like this, but there's really no information we need to see. Last season, obviously, TCU was a good team. Tar Heels were not a good team. North Carolina pretty much got rid of everything, okay? So we can look at strength of schedule. North Carolina had the 76. TCU had the 41st. So they had a pretty strong schedule as well, and we're still able to go 9-4 last season. So love this plot for TCU to get the win. I do think they win, and I do like the game total under 50.5 if you want to run that. But I talked about USC. If I was going to play anything from this game, I mean, you got a 40-point spread. Like, come on, man. It's so hard to play games like that. I take the total over 60.5. Now, you can buy this total to like 57.5 or something and get it at minus 146. But at that point, what are the odds it lands on 58 on the dot? I mean, a 28-28 score would be 56, but it's not. This game shouldn't be 28-28. We're looking at like 50-10 or something, like looking at a blowout game. So we'll see what happens. If San Jose State can get some points on the board, I think this soars over. If they can't get any offense going and Luke Weaver can't throw for 125 passing yards, I think we're in trouble. That's what I'm going to say on the total. But if I had to pick anything, I'd run the game total over 60.5, over 57.5 if you want to play it a little bit safer, but it's just 3 points different. And if they go to 57.5, they probably end up going over 62. But, I mean, you never know with football. Wolfpack versus the Cavaliers. This game's going to be in Virginia, and NC State has honestly been putting it on Virginia in the last few years. I don't think Virginia's beat NC State at home since like 2006 or something like that. Head to head, you can see they got beat 35-31 last year. It was a close game. Strength of schedule for these two teams, you can see NC State had the 28th, UVA had the 70th. So NC State had a very strong schedule and actually played really good football last year, 8-5. Now I will say, I'm on the Cavs to win this game. Both these teams bringing in a lot of experience. NC State has a ton of seniors that's been playing a lot of football. The Cavaliers have the number one team in the league for the amount of snaps taken last season. In terms of these guys have a lot of usage last year, all on one team, looking good, a lot of experience on both sides of things. I think Virginia wins this game. I like Virginia money line, but I like NC State to cover a 7.5 point spread. So you can get NC State plus 7.5, and I'm going to run both sides. I really am. I'm kind of going to hedge this slightly. But plus 7.5 is minus 160 on Hard Rock. Pretty sure it was minus 150 earlier on Novig. It looks like it's moved a lot. But you can get it around minus 160. I like the 7.5 line a ton, and I think both of these guys, I can see this game being a 3-point game or even a 7-point game. But I think it's going to be competitive regardless. If NC State sneaks out the win, you can get them at plus money if you want to take a shot on that. I think this is a good game, but my heart or my head, not my heart, I said my heart, but I'm not a Virginia fan. So my heart does not lean Georgia. My mind telling me Georgia or Virginia. I don't know why I keep wanting to say Georgia. Virginia, the Cavs. That's what my mind is leaning, okay? So other than that, I don't think there's any other games. I don't like the Florida State game, Hawaii versus Stanford. I think Stanford wins. That game's tough. A lot of sharp money on Hawaii. There's a lot of sharp money on Hawaii. 34% of bets, 77% of money. I think the same way is for Virginia here, for NC State as well. Not quite as much. So some of the sharps are on Hawaii. I think this might be a good spot to get them at plus 174. Realistically, I think Stanford wins this game. You can look at Hawaii last season, look at their strength of schedule with the 133rd versus 21st. Stanford had a hard schedule. Hawaii does not. So that 9-4 record isn't super impressive. Last year, Hawaii beat Stanford, but let's talk about that. They kicked two. I think it was a pick that cost Stanford the game, and it ended up being a walk-off field goal that caused Hawaii to win last year. They had like 2 fourth-quarter field goals that ended up bringing them from 17 to 20, or from 17 to 23. But regardless, that's a tough call as well. I lean Stanford to win. A lot of sharp money on the Rainbow Warriors if you want to take a shot on them. Other than that, that's probably going to be the only games that I bet on in terms of total spread or money lines. I'll mix them up, play some parlays, probably have some college football teasers. Prefer teasers on NFL rather than college football, but got a great weekend, guys. Hopefully we have a good weekend. Hopefully my trip to Jamaica is paid for by the time I get back from the bets. That would be nice. But anyways, that's what I have for the first college football slate. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you would, hit that sub button, leave a like on the video. I appreciate every single one of y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next one.